everyone, it's Stephen, and I thought I'd share something a little different that I've been experimenting with. As you know, I am a scrapbooker. I've started doing traditional scrapbooks many years ago, went into digital, and then I've gotten into creating mini albums, and I've expanded out. I'm trying to explore a lot of different artistic treatments. Now, the first thing I want to say right off the bat is I am not an artist. But I do dabble in what's called mixed media for creating things. Some people consider themselves mixed media artists. Let's say I'm a mixed media goofer or whatever, because I don't really consider myself an artist. I can't draw a straight line without a ruler. But I'm really fascinated by art, and I'm fascinated by all the different techniques. And I'm trying to get over the mental block that I am not an artist. I'll tell you a little story. Since I am a retired teacher, this one really hits home. When I was in grade 8, I loved art. I took art classes, through school when we were in elementary school, and it came time for art. I loved it. I wasn't very good at it, but I loved the whole process of creating something. Teachers are supposed to encourage young people, no matter what. That's the idea behind being a good teacher, I think, is encouraging young people. So I had this grade 8 art teacher, and I did my best. And I remember we were doing perspective drawing, the kind of thing where you find the vanishing point and you draw big buildings, kind of a thing, going off to that vanishing point. And actually, I thought I could do that because that really involved drawing straight lines with a ruler. It was almost mathematical. So I was really proud of what I was creating this one particular day in class. Well, the art teacher came up, and his name happened to be, and he's probably dead by now, and I'm going to name him. His name was Cross. And actually, he pretty much represented his last name because this man never smiled in class. I thought art was supposed to bring joy to your soul. Well, for him, I don't think it did. I don't really think he liked his job at all, quite frankly. Anyways, he comes over, and the person sitting to my left side, he's looking at their drawing, and he's going, yes, very nice, love it, looks really great, well done. Looked at the person on the right side of me and said the same thing, well done, very lovely. I'm sitting there waiting because I'm in the middle, and I know what I've created. At least I feel that it's really, really good. And so he looks at this, and he doesn't make a sound. And then he looks at me, and one word came out of his mouth, yuck. You know how devastating that was to a 13-year-old boy who thought that what he created was good and was looking forward to some praise from his art teacher? Well, I was devastated. He then proceeded to say to me, when you get into high school next year, this was grade 8, when you get into high school next year, promise me you won't sign up for an art class because you'll never pass it. Oh, well, needless to say, there went my self-esteem right out the window. Got into grade 9, and guess what? I took it to heart. I didn't take any art classes in grade 9. I never took one art class all the way through high school, although I really wanted to. But because of what that one person said to me, that one teacher who told me that my work was yuck and that I shouldn't take art in high school, that kept me years from ever doing anything artistic at all because I just felt I couldn't do it. Today, I'm over that. However, I am not an artist, and I admire people who are artists. My grandmothers, both of them, were artists, dabbled in paint. But I guess I never really inherited that gene, not in the way that one would think of traditional painting, I suppose. So, once I found scrapbooking and things like that, that got me into the whole paper arts, crafting, all of that. And, over time, I've begun to look at things from a different perspective. One thing, though, I learned from that experience when I became a teacher myself is never say something that is so negative to a young person. That criticism, constructive criticism is okay, but that kind of criticism I received that day really can alter an individual's life. So, enough of me philosophizing about my past and the horrors thereof. So this, for lack of a better term, I called it an art journal. The cover, standard kind of cover that I do in all of my books, as you know, laminated it, 2 sheets of paper, sticky stuff in between, blah, blah. But what I want to show you is inside. There aren't any embellishments. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I may not do anything with it. I thought about maybe journaling in it. I don't know. Need a really dark pen, I think, for it to show up on these backgrounds, as you'll see. But the backgrounds that I've created are all done through a process called Gelli Art. Now I'll just move this out of the way for a moment to show you what a Gelli Art is. This is a Gelli Art, and you're probably getting a glare on it. These are available at art stores, and what it is a form of what they call mono printing. Basically, you're never going to get the same thing twice, and that's kind of the fun in it, because you're making a creative mess. All it is a little silicone pad. Let me move that out of the way. Oops. Little silicone pad, thus the name Gelli, because it kind of feels like jelly. And there's another one of these things on the back of it. They're just protection. And you lay it down on your craft sheet, and you take some acrylic paint, and you put a few drops on, all one color, several colors, whatever you like. You use one of those brayers, and you just smooth it all out onto it. And then you can run things like ends of a pen through it, draw designs, because it'll hold those shapes. Or you can put stencils on it and press them into it. Or you can use rubber stamps in it. Or you can use your fingers. It's really anything goes with it, as long as you don't cut into this jelly stuff, because as you can see, it's silicone and that would really wreck it. And then you lay down your piece of paper on top of it, smooth it all over with your hand, pull it up, and you get an image. You can do a second generation image. You put down a different piece of paper without adding any more paint, and you'll get more of a ghost kind of thing. You can put a piece of paper here and then a piece of paper here. You can pick up color and just play around with it. You can add more layers of colors and more designs, and you'll print over top of that. It's addictive, I can tell you this. They come in several sizes. This is the 6x6 size, there's an 8.5 by 11 size, and they've just come out with a 12 by 12. They're not particularly cheap. I think the smallest size, which is great for cards and things like that, runs around $15, $16 or something like that. The next size up is around 25, and then the 12 by 12 I saw the other day is about 60 bucks for it. But they are a lot of fun. They're very easy to clean. There isn't much to them for upkeep. When you have it all cleaned up, you just put your little pads back on it. Okay, I peeled one off and I can't find, there it is. I'm probably out of camera shot now, but you just put those on and it goes back into the clamshell, and that's it. A whole lot of fun. Now if you go onto YouTube and do a search for Gelli Art, you're going to find all kinds of videos. People are using these for their art journals. I'm assuming everybody knows what an art journal is. Basically it's doing nice backgrounds and things and collages and whatever grabs you, experimenting with paint. That's what I use it for. And writing things if you wish, that kind of deal. So I did a whole bunch of these. I said they were addictive. And then I thought, what am I going to do with them afterwards? So I decided to bind them into this book. So very quickly, I'll just go through. You'll not see two the same. You get these nice textured features. I really like this one. I used a stencil, flowers. I don't know if it's picking up in the camera. Actually, I used two stencils. One that's a burst, that's what these things are, and then I put the flower one onto it. You know, you just experiment with color. This is just circles. This is circles made from a little plastic cup, so you can use that kind of thing. Some of them turn out better than others. This is the process. You'll never know exactly what you're going to get, but I think they give it's a really nice technique if you want to create background, let me speak correctly, to use background papers for your scrapbooking, things like that, especially if you got the 12 by 12 one. You can make a lot of really neat papers with that. Great for card making, something a little different, unique, and as I said, a whole lot of fun to experiment. You don't use a whole lot of paint, you just use a couple of little dots of acrylic paint. I bought a complete set of liquid, I think it's by Liquitex. I'm just looking here at the box. Yeah, Liquitex Basics, got about 48 colors in it. And I just slam them down. This one's got, I used a rubber stamp that had textures to it to give it sort of this crackle effect. I'm really into stencils. I've been buying a whole lot of stencils lately because you can use them for a lot of things. And I'm getting into another form of art I'm experimenting with, which I'm going to show you in another video, called encaustic wax painting. That's really fascinating too. But anyways, back to this. So you can see the various pages that I have in here. Go much quicker. I mean, don't want to bore you to death here. Little unusual with some swirls. You can do resist techniques as well. You can also use ink, you know, like distress ink or that kind of thing. The only problem with distress ink is it may stain your jelly pad, which won't really affect its performance. It's just going to make it look really mucky unless you clean it up immediately. And one lady on YouTube suggested using mineral oil. I haven't tried that, but she says that does a really good job of cleaning it up. Usually you just use a baby wipe on them. So anyways, that gives you an idea. I really like this one. That would make a great background for something. So that gives you an idea of what's called Gelli Art and Creating an Art Journal. And I hope you liked it.